Hello friend, in this lecture we will discuss on the preformatted text element in HTML. So friend, let's start. The preformatted text element is used to indicate that the enclosed text is a preformatted, which means all the spaces, tabs, line break and any other formatting character will be preserved while displaying the output in a web browser. And the preformatted text element will have an opening preformatted text tag and also the closing preformatted text tag. And in between this opening preformatted text tag and the closing preformatted text tag, we will write the word or the content for which we want to preserve the format. Please note that the tags between this opening preformatted text tag and the closing preformatted text tag will generally be rendered in the browser in a monospaced font. And this preformatted text element is an example of a block level element. That is, this preformatted text element will always start on a new line and will stretch the full width available for that line. That is, it will start from the extreme left of the browser window and will go to the extreme right of the browser window. Before we proceed further, let me show you a sample code where we have not used the preformatted text element. Now in this code we can see that there are multiple spaces in between this comma and the word welcome, and then there is a line break again between the word to and they. There is a huge white spaces. Again there is a line break and we can see a lot of spaces between the word world. Thus when this code gets rendered in the browser, we will get the output as shown here. Now in this output we can see that the extra spaces and the multiple line break are not preserved, and the output is displayed with a single spaces between the character or word and also displayed in a single line. Thus to conclude, we can say that in the above example that any extra spaces, tab or any other formatting characters are not preserved. Now let us take a look at the code which has a preformatted text element in it. Now in this below code we have just surrounded the content inside the body element or the content for which we want to preserve the format by the opening preformatted text and a closing preformatted text. And also we have provided the style attribute with a value as background color yellow in the opening preformatted text. So this will confirm that this is an example of a block level element. Just when this code gets rendered in the browser, we will get the output as shown here. Here all the extra spaces between words or character are preserved, and also the multiple line break or any other formatting are also preserved. All this format are preserved because we have surrounded our content with an opening preformatted text tag and a closing preformatted text tag. And if you observe here that the font is appearing in a monospace font and the background is in the yellow color because we have set the style attribute with a value as background color yellow in the opening preformatted text. Thus, as we see that there is a yellow background for the content inside the preformatted text element, which started from the extreme left of the browser window and goes to the extreme right of the browser window. Hence it proves that this is an example of a block level element. Now let's switch into the HTML editor and check the code where we have not used the preformatted text element. Now save this code and right click to open in default browser. And we can see when this code is rendered in a browser that all these extra spaces and even multiple line breaks are ignored. That is, the formatting is not preserved. Now, in case we want to preserve the format, then we have to surround this content with a preformatted text element. Let's do that. This is the content which we have to surround with a preformatted text element. I have surrounded this entire content with a preformatted text tag just to distinguish that this is an example of a block level element. Let me have the style attribute defined with the value as background color yellow. Save this and go back into the browser, refresh the browser, and we can see all the formatting convention, that is extra spaces, multiple line break, are all preserved. And this is having a background color as yellow, indicating that this is an example of a block level element. And also if you observe that all the fonts are in a monospace style, that is, the font is a monospace font. So this is all about the preformatted text element in HTML. Thank you for watching.